63 years of independence, 63 years of promises, 63 years of patience. It's time for governance now. Governance now. Let's make it work.
We have talked about creating national universities, 30 more, 14 innovation universities, and the debate goes on and on what are these innovation universities. How do we define them? Some people think these are universities on innovations. All of this is clearly articulated from our perspective in the reports of the National Knowledge Commission. We have now taken 4 years or 5 years to debate all of these issues over and over again. We have multiple bills. Still those bills have not been tabled. And I believe we just don't have the sense of urgency. For a while, we got locked up with differences with the ministry. We waited for some of these reforms to take roots, and unfortunately, not much has happened. We are further debating the very foundation of what we had proposed. At the end of the day, there are really 3 challenges in higher education. 1, expansion. We need more colleges, more teachers, more seats, more doctors, more engineers, more scientists. 2, we need to improve quality. So beside expansion, excellence. Leaving aside top 5-10% of our universities, quality of education is pretty bad. Many of these graduates are not employable. We have 550,000 young below age of 25. So we have to focus on expansion because this is the workforce for the world. But we have to make sure that the quality has to be reasonable to a point. When they come out of these institutions, they are useful citizens to the society. And the third is equity. We have to make sure that the poorest of the poor indeed can get the best education possible. How do we get all of us to buy into these 3 basic ideas? Then you have to fine-tune more research, intellectual property at university. Turns out that leaving aside again top 5-10%, most of our teachers don't do research and most of our research scientists don't teach. So you got to bring them together. It's not rocket science. But we go on debating same thing over and over again as opposed to execute on these ideas. Part of the National Knowledge Commission recommendation was about building a national knowledge network to connect 1,500 nodes with 40 gigabit bandwidth so we can connect all our universities, all our R&D institutions to improve collaboration. Knowing that all modern research is multidisciplinary, requires a lot of collaboration, and is happening faster than ever before. We asked government for close to $2 billion, and government agreed to give us. This government is ready to back up all of our education plans, more so than anybody that I have known in the past. When I tell my US colleagues that we have $2 billion to build knowledge network from government, they get surprised. Now we are asking to build public information infrastructure to connect 250,000 panchayats with fiber. Building platform for broadband, UID, GIS, security, applications, payment, all of this is probably going to cost us about $20 billion over a period of time. Government is willing to do that also, knowing that the future lies in using new tools. I can tell you, no other government today that I know of would back up an expenditure like this. How do we capitalize on this is the challenge for all of us. This is no time to debate. This is no time to discuss. This is the time to act. Today, the challenge is to deregulate education. If Henry Ford arrived today, the only industry where there is mass production, it is in education. Everywhere else, production is gone in terms of mass production. Education is the only area where we haven't focused on economies of scope. It is all economies of scale. So we need to deregulate. We need public-private partnership. We need seamless connectivity between vocational education and higher education, so that a plumber can go get a PhD in math, which cannot be done today in Indian system. All of this is pretty straightforward. It's not rocket science. I just don't understand why we take 4 or 5 years to prepare 4 cabinet notes or bills. Our recommendation was to do one bill, overarching sort of on the commission, and leave that commission alone and let them decide what needs to be done as opposed to micromanage. At the end of the day, it is all about control. People don't want to let it go. Until we decide that it is time to let go, decontrol education, I don't think we'll make any significant change. I'm worried, I'm concerned, I have articulated this at many public forums, but sometimes it's a lonely battle. Because we just seem to love to discuss. More conferences, more debates, more discussions, fine-tuning, tweaking, but not acting. My message today is I think time is running out. We got to act. We know all there is to know. We will make mistakes as we go along. But from that we will learn if we are willing to deregulate, be flexible, open, and trust our academic community. Sitting in Delhi, you can't really manage education system of a country of this size. You just have to give broad outline and turn it loose. That's what we did in 91 to our economy. And that's what we need to do, perhaps in 2011, to our education.